Good morning, everyone, or maybe it's good afternoon now for you. I'm Reverend Kathy Ellicott Carver, speaking virtually from Unity Church of Carlsbad, California. And the title of my talk today is COVID-19, the Great Awakening. First, I'd like to offer my sympathy, my deepest sympathy to all of you who have suffered from this virus yourself or had relatives and friends who have. Those of us who have not known this tragedy firsthand cannot begin to understand the horrors you've been through, and we send our blessings to you. But despite the terrible things this virus caused, COVID-19 is actually a blessing in disguise. Why? For two reasons. First, it's the first time in history, regardless of nationality, religion, gender, country, nation, that everyone in the whole world has experienced the exact same challenge at the same time. Never before has the oneness been so obvious. Second, because this quarantine forced us all to look, stop, look, and listen. This unique time has been prophesied through the ages by the indigenous people. Why did they call it the time of the Great Awakening? Because they knew that during the early stages of evolution, mankind would be busy, very busy just surviving, focused on the tigers and the tribal wars, and finally the world wars. These prophets knew that the race was too deeply asleep, dreaming in the outer world to investigate the real world. They would have to wait till men matured. But with the quarantine, a new stage of evolution was triggered. Men began to finally look inside themselves, to examine their inner world, the world of their mind and heart. Gradually, people began to ask the deep questions. Who am I? What am I doing? What is reality? What's true? How do I know? Who do I believe? Yes, most are glued to the TV set, but many are beginning to wake up. They're exploring for the first time, some of them, their inner world, and they're beginning to question everything. Why? When you think about it, TV has accidentally contributed to this very awakening, and it's trying to prevent it. How? Because we see and hear TV newscasts. One station says one thing, another station says another. The virus is a weapon. No, it's not. It's a mutated natural virus. Change the channel and the news says, doctors know the truth. Turn the dial again and politicians know the truth. Who do you believe? What do you believe? Conspiracy theories or our hidden agendas being revealed finally? Then YouTube exposes the fact that 6 corporations own all the media in the entire United States. And we wonder, how is this possible? How did this great power get in the hands of so few people, so few corporations? But of course, corporations are people now legally. Here's something for us to think about. Could this be the dying gasp of the third dimension, fighting to keep the old paradigm of control over others, fear and duality in place, to keep controlling what's good for me? The heck with you. The unevolved baby screaming, "It's my toy." All these things have made people question what is true like never before. They're finally so confused that they're beginning to look in the last place anybody ever thinks to look, within. But as they do, they're waking up to the fact that they have magnificent creative powers inside them, thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. They're beginning to see that the outer world is just a mirror. It only reflects what they believe and feel. They're starting to realize that their minds and hearts are projected and that the world is just a movie playing on a screen. It begins to dawn on them. Their own consciousness projects the outer world. We are the projectors of our worlds, singularly and collectively. So if you change what's in your projector, you can change your world. Now, the Bible called the world of the fifth dimension the next step in evolution, the kingdom of heaven. 2,000 years ago, Jesus was asked where it is. And he answered, the kingdom of heaven is within. Now in 2020, quantum physicists are calling the same place, the kingdom, the field. Interestingly enough, Jesus said then, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The fields are already white with the harvest. 2,000 years apart, same name, the fields. Why? Because there are fields, these fields consist of pure energy, containing every potentiality, and they contain it all now. It's very important to understand the fact that these possibilities already exist now. Because as the great Albert Einstein said, time is an illusion. The distinction between the past, the present, and the future is only a stubborn, persistent illusion. There is only now in the real world of cause. That means that any world, anything we want exists right now, already. The fields are white with harvest. We just decide which potential we want to manifest. Now, our race is struggling to rise out of the old world of separation, time, and duality. We are evolving, ascending to the fifth dimension. We're beginning to understand what the Bible meant by the ascension. It's using our powers to rise to a new world, a world of unity, peace, compassion, and love, and oneness. No wonder they called it heaven. This is the magical world that appears when the race finally ascends and succeeds in merging the power of the head with that power of the heart. Physicists have discovered that the heart has a little brain in it, and the heart is 40,000 times more powerful than the head, 40,000 times more magnetically powerful. Look at the power it has to draw to you or something. So when the head and the heart marry, they give birth to the fifth dimension, intellect with love. Not just self-love or love for individuals, but love for all. The old commandment, love one another. We've also begun to understand what Einstein knew when he said, everything is energy. When you really get this is huge. It means that everything, every person, every form is made of the exact same invisible substance, energy. It also means that we are one infinite expression, the only begotten Son of the one infinite being, the Father, source, energy. Let's try to wrap our heads around this with an analogy. Energy is kind of like water. It has different ways of expressing itself. Water as steam is formless. It's vaporous air. Like energy or spirit, when it vibrates more slowly, water appears to be a liquid. Now it can be poured to any cup or container, no matter the size, shape, or color. So can energy. Our bodies are like cups. Their forms, shapes, and colors are all different, but they all contain the same thing, spirit. That's why the Bible referred to our bodies as temples. They are spirit containers. Then water freezes solid and appears as ice, and it can take any form. It can cover the Antarctic, or it can be an ice cube in your drink. But in essence, it's still water. Only the vibration has changed. Essence hasn't. Now, another analogy, think of a fan on a hot day. When the fan isn't moving, you see all 4 or 5 blades. But then as it slowly starts to escalate its motion, they begin to disappear gradually. And then after a while, you can't see them at all. They're gone from sight. They've vibrated beyond the limits of our very limited physical sense. We see less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. That means we don't see 99% of the potential light. So we can't see it, but the invisible glue, the net of energy, connects and is everything. We're blind to the fact that this energy is one source. Sometimes some people have called it the great central sun. This energy source exploded in the Big Bang. That's what we call it anyway. And it said it sparks out everywhere, but it stays connected. Quantum physics now proves that. This one infinite energy is one infinite form. Everything. Everything is energy. And this invisible energy is light, life, intelligence, and love. But when we watch TV 24/7, the news spreads poison. It spreads fear of being close to anyone, fear of catching the disease, fear of death, fear of suffering. But negative emotions program us and lower our vibrations when we're in this vulnerable hypnotic state, which TV always induces, by the way. Now think about this for a minute. Do you think that advertisers paid $5 million for a 30-second spot, one 30-second spot, because it doesn't work? No, they know it works. They know it programs us. COVID-19 and its TV coverage have magnified exponentially the results of what our collective beliefs in separation have produced. We've seen how money, color, race, and gender and location have dictated to who has health insurance, who gets care, who lives, and even who dies. Never has the disparity, the inequality between the haves and the have-nots been so exposed and on a global scale to everyone. Unfortunately, the top 1% are fighting to keep us trapped in the third dimension. They don't want us to wake up. If we do, they lose their power. They seem to want to continue to control us, not to mention the money. According to Forbes 400, the top 3 people in the United States, the 3 billionaires, 3, own more wealth than the whole bottom half of the United States. That means they have more money than 328 million Americans combined. The masses of waking up could be very dangerous. Nevertheless, thank God we are awakening. We're becoming aware that we have the power to choose the world we want. Remember, every possibility already exists. We only have to choose the one we want. The world is dividing, and you can see it more and more. One group realizes we're all one. The other group, those still asleep in the third dimension, believe everything is separate, me and them. But this is the time of the Great Awakening. Those of us who are waking up must lead to the next step in evolution, the world of unity, peace, and love for everybody. Today, it's obvious that ignorant of our power, not knowing the truth, not knowing how strong and how creative we are, we've made a world of hate, suspicion, division, and poverty. Let's know the truth. Let's wake up. Because knowing the truth is what sets us free. We are the powerful creators of our worlds. We must take control of our thoughts and beliefs and choose to reveal the world that already exists in the field, in the kingdom within. That's why the last book of the Bible is called Revelations. The world already exists, just waiting to be revealed by those of us who begin to see it, to feel it. COVID-19 is horrible, but we're surviving. A comfortable status quo has never produced change. Most of us require to be hit alongside of the head to wake up. COVID has certainly provided that to the whole planet. It's impossible to wake up when we focus on the outer world. That's why the enlightened have always preached meditation, go within, in the silence, inside. The universe is within. The married couple who founded Unity Churches in 1889 knew this. That's why they named their church Unity. Time's up, literally. We must ascend. There's really only one presence and one power, one energy active in the universe, one being all that is. This is the world of grace we're entering. The race that knows it's God, grace, the G race. Wake up. When we are one, we have won. God bless you. Stay safe and see you in church or somewhere soon, hopefully.